I'm Jake,
And I'm Marlin.
aka Gee, and welcome to another Fresh from the Theater review. Normally we do this in his truck, a la midnight screenings, but it's really fucking hot outside, so we're doing this indoors. And we just got back from seeing The Flash, the long-awaited and a couple of times delayed latest entry in the DC superhero franchise, the DC Extended Universe, and we've seen most of the films in this franchise.
Quite a few of them, yes.
Man of Steel, we both really liked.
Yes, unlike other people that review those movies.
Yeah, real polarizing. We didn't get into Batman v Superman, but it had some good points.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman was awesome. Justice League, a little bumpy. Everything else, good, bad, good here. All that shit. We didn't see the last film in the franchise, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, but from what I heard, this was, it wasn't vital to see that, so thought we'd jump into The Flash. This has been a long built-up film, and the Flash character, Barry Allen, played by Ezra Miller, is a character who we kind of had a divided opinion on when we first saw him in Justice League. You enjoyed him.
I enjoyed him. I liked the comedic side of it, which was something that you didn't embrace.
It was very too rambly and annoying for me, but when I saw the director's cut by Zack Snyder a few years ago, it showed that with proper writing direction, the character could be good, and Ezra Miller's shown he's a very good actor. And just to be clear, we're not going to get into any of the controversies surrounding Ezra Miller leading up to this film. We were just talking about the movie, so quick initial thoughts. Did you enjoy The Flash?
I didn't know what to expect. I did enjoy it. I don't know, it didn't, so I had no anticipation or what it should be. I liked it. I thought it was even thoughtful. You know, everything wasn't perfect, but a good part of it, it held my attention. And the storyline, hard to tell, but they wove it through the screening of the special effects and obviously the dialogue. It was a good movie for me. It was a fun time.
I thought it was a roller coaster with both the highs and the lows. I thought the comedy was really uneven. For every joke that made me laugh, there were 3 that didn't. And the first hour of this movie, like, this is a long film. It's 2 hours, 24 minutes. The first hour is a fucking mess of just tones that don't match, not explaining enough, but once we hit the middle point, things do start to pick up. There's still some confusing bumps here and there, but it does start to pick up, especially when a certain someone comes in, and we'll get to him very soon, but the basic plot, for those who want to know, without giving too much away, because this guy don't do spoilers, it takes place sometime after Justice League. The Flash, Barry Allen, is active member of the group. He thinks he is given the janitor jobs, and something that he's really held up on that was touched on a bit in Justice League but not dived in too strongly is that his father is in prison for killing his mother, a crime that he didn't do. Barry doesn't believe he did, and his mother, he wishes she was alive, so he finds a way to, like, because in Justice League, the director's cut, he found a way to run so fast he could go back in time. So he goes back and he alters things where his mom can live, and this just starts a chain reaction of alternate parallel universes, times that don't match, and he, as shown in the trailers, he meets another version of The Flash, also played by Ezra Miller. So we get him giving 2 performances in this. And, yeah, very confusing, but I say, stay with it past the first hour, and it will definitely be worth the price of admission, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. They built, to my mind, they built the whole plot line around the ideas of time travel and alternate universes, and they overlapped them and gave you a visual, a metaphor for how this works and why then it can't work, but so on and so forth. And it was, to my mind, it was very well done.
I thought it was pretty brilliant.
Yeah, they backed it up with the cinema production. It was very good. As a tangent, I think the writers did Warner Brothers a favor, because everybody likes to whine about, well, that's not really time travel, or that's not really alternate universe. We didn't like these parts in this. This one is undisciplined. Everything seems to be okay, and you feel, oh, okay, yeah, I can see that. So Warner Brothers, DC, gets a free break now. They can put up any combination of any time of any of the characters, and it's just one of the spaghetti strands that they talk about.
Yeah, they explain time travel and parallel universes with a play of spaghetti, and it's a brilliantly done scene. And like you said, and as the song goes in Temple of Doom, anything goes now. Just everything's broken. We get, like, a big thing that's been hyped with this film is that there would be returning characters from this current franchise, and also characters from previous franchises, kind of like what Spider-Man No Way Home did. The biggest thing, of course, that was hyped up was that we would get not only Ben Affleck in his final, as they supposedly say, his final turn as Batman, but we would see, after 31 goddamn years, the return of Michael fucking Keaton as Batman. And given all the shit Ezra Miller's got into, I think the studio knew to base a lot of their trailers around the appearances of Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
As for Michael Keaton, I thought he was used well. Like, it was not just a cameo.
No, it wasn't. He became a part of the action, a part of the planning, and all of that kind of thing. He became a main character in the story.
Yeah, he was used pretty well. He's older, and as shown by Frank Miller, an older Batman can work. Like, he goes into this alternate dimension, he meets Michael Keaton, and plays, obviously, the older and kind of curmudgeon-y Bruce Wayne, but once he dons that suit, and the Danny Elfman theme kicks in, it's just, it's pretty bliss with the character. Other returning actors include Michael Shannon as General Zod, and one of the time travel aspects, without giving too much away, involves going back to the events of Man of Steel. So we do get to see Michael Shannon as Zod again, and his role was more on the cameo level, but it was still cool to see him again, and I don't know about you, but I think he still had the villain chops.
Oh yeah, he was evil, and there's no two ways about it. And if you like battle scenes and all that other kind of thing, they had plenty of that.
Speaking of which, the visuals in The Flash are fucking fantastic. The first time he goes into super speed was just a spectacle in and of itself.
And you didn't know what it was, why it was being shot like this, but after a while, you understood what you were looking at, and it was always done well. It was an experience.
And there's so many visuals here. Like, I spotted quite a few, but there's clearly some I didn't, and I feel like this is a movie that would be fun to, like, rewind and pause just to see what you missed. And we get many cameos, some of them clearly CGI'd in, but we get glimpses of all the previous other DC stuff. I won't say how or when, but we get a sort of appearance by Christopher Reeve's Superman.
Yeah.
And, well, it wasn't a lot. I did like seeing that.
It was good, and it was going back in time, and so it just picked it up wonderfully.
Yeah, and hell, we even got George Reeves briefly.
Yeah, I mean, black and white.
And the thing with this, though, Barry Allen is the main character, both versions, but there is quite a few main characters in this, and I don't know, I think maybe calling this film The Flash Paradox would have been a better title, because you just call it The Flash, it makes it seem like it's going to be only about The Flash.
Well, it was, I mean, that was central. And so you're meeting his, I don't know if you call him alter ego, or you're meeting yourself in another dimension, and that interaction.
I think Ezra Miller gave good performances as both characters. I think the one fault with the Barry Allen character, again, could be the direction, the writing. I do get what they were doing, and there were some aspects of this that kind of annoyed me, but I felt like I understood why they did it. I felt like the first hour was a clunky mess again, and it went by too fast, and I wonder, was that meant to go par and par with him being the super speed guy? Hard to say.
I didn't get that same impression. They fed you bits at a time. And it's kind of like, I think they started pulling them more together. But the one thing with the two Barry Allen characters is that they spent time developing personality differences between Flash 1, Flash 2. To my mind, they did that too deliberately, too long. I could have felt very understood the differences between the two personalities in a lot shorter time than they gave us. But that didn't ruin the movie.
For a while, I felt that Flash 2 was insufferable, and I still think they went a little overboard with how annoying he was, but it did serve a point where Flash 1 screams at him for being so annoying, and then kind of reflects on, this is probably how people see him.
Yeah, very good.
So
they use the scenes very well.
I get that, but maybe could have toned it down just a little. But the one that surprised me, like, aside from Michael Keaton, who just stole the show, the one who surprised me the most was Sasha Calle, who plays Supergirl, who is a character, an ongoing character in the Superman lore. I thought she really shined here as this character who comes in like halfway and does play a big part in the second half.
Oh yeah, very big part. Kal-El is a cameo, parallel, but it becomes important why Supergirl, as we know her here, is important to Zod. So stay tuned and see the movie and you'll understand that. But she did a good job, yes.
Yeah, most of the cast did good jobs. The only two actors who I think I could have done without was Ron Livingston as Barry's father, who's in prison. This is a different actor from the one they had in Justice League. And I know, I've seen this guy in other stuff, and honestly, if he fits, like, he was alright in Office Space, but I don't think he fits here, and the way they wrote this character just made me kind of roll my eyes a bit. Like, there were several moments where I found myself looking down just because I found the scene, like, I could feel the embarrassment almost from watching. And Barry's, like in other mediums, she's a huge love interest here. It's mostly just to establish a will they, won't they? Iris West, played by Kiersey Clemons. I don't know how other people think. I don't know what you thought, but I thought Kiersey Clemons and Ezra Miller just had no chemistry. I know it's supposed to be awkward and supposed to mumble over each other, but I didn't buy their chemistry. I was not looking forward to a potential future with these two. It just, I don't know, it didn't grab me.
The character was unnecessary for the plot of the movie. Now, if in fact the folks at Warner Brothers wanted to introduce this character for potential use at a future time, then that went in. It was short, it wasn't particularly interesting, but there you have it.
Let's see, what else was there? Oh yeah, the direction, the action sequences were very well done.
And when you saw the credits at the end, they had more people into all of the action and everything it took to put that together. I mean, it was just minute after minute of names and titles.
Like, I give this film this, it had one hell of an opening. I mean, the opening of this scene is him saving, like, 8 or so babies from fucking dying. And I honestly was like, are they gonna have the guts to actually kill any of them? And I won't say what they do, but yeah, you're like, Jesus Christ. And, the director of this film, Andy Muschietti, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He's directed horror films before this. Mama, which I haven't seen. It from 2017 and It Chapter 2 from 2019. I've seen the It movies and honestly did not make me excited to see this film. But the writer, Christina Hodson, she also wrote Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn movie. And I enjoyed that a lot, so it kind of made it kind of, yeah, I'll give it a chance. And I don't think these two were a good combo together, but they turned in a film that I would not this is not a 5-star movie for me, but it ain't a 2-star movie either. For me personally, I think I put this on a bumpy, but I do recommend it 3.5 star.
Yes, I would recommend it too. It held my interest. There's a lot of good background development in the Flash character. That part was done well. Like I said, the only thing that slowed me down was to my mind, additional development over necessary, developing the two different characters of Flash 1 and Flash 2.
I will say, stay to the very end. Like, stay to the very end credits. Obviously, there was a post-credits scene, which was kind of dumb, but got a laugh I get from him. But right before the end credits start, there is a cameo that will make your fucking jaw drop. You will just not see it coming. And I wondered for a while why this particular actor's name was trending on Twitter, and then when I saw the film, like, oh.
Just more lessons in alternate universes.
So yeah, this is a messy but enjoyable film. Just prepare for some very annoying cringe, but also some, honestly, pretty stab in the heart emotional moments.
Yes, to the emotional moments. They had plenty of those.
Hope you enjoyed our quick little rambling video. It's hard to talk about these without going into too much detail, but here's to summer, and we will see you again with the two of us with either an old timer swinging back on the whip or a mad scientist making the atom bomb.
And who knows what else.